Hi guys, welcome to or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. I haven't been on the channel in so long. At this point, everyone's new. Welcome. I will explain where I've been in another video, but today I wanted to tell you all about my fat loss. This is my 7-week transformation, and I know summer's coming, so I thought let me share how I went from this to this. Yeah, and this was in 7 weeks. This was just under 8 weeks. So first of all, me here was caused by just a completely unhealthy lifestyle. I was drinking pretty much every night, and I don't mean just a glass of wine. I mean guzzling alcohol like it was water nightly. I was going out drinking takeaways every day, and I just felt so sluggish. I felt so out of routine. I just did not feel good whatsoever, and I knew I had to make a change that I was going to stick to. So I made this plan. Summer's coming, so I'm going to share every single thing that I did, so you can also get this result if you wish. By the way guys, before we get into the tips and tricks, make sure you subscribe and you like the video. Okay, can you do that for me right now? Can you do that for me? Also, I do actually have a 6-week summer shred program, which will be starting on the 26th of May. A group of us are all coming together to shred the excess fat before summer. It's not just about summer body, but we're going to use summer to kickstart a healthier, more confident lifestyle. So if you are interested, I'll leave the link below. You guys can sign up. So point 1, and I don't see anyone ever talking about this, you need to fix your gut health. A lot of people aren't necessarily big. They just have excess amounts of bloating, or like in my before video, you can see how excessively bloated I was. Don't get me wrong, I still had a way higher percentage of body fat than I do now. I think I was around 28% body fat, but you can see like my stomach was poking out because I was bloated. A lot of you guys actually do have intolerances to like gluten, wheat, things like that, which are making you bloated, upsetting your gut, which is causing you to retain excess waste and all of this stuff. Get your gut health right. So signs of poor gut health includes bloating, if you're like excessively gassy, irregular bowel movements. I think it's something like we're meant to be going once a day or something like that. If you're going less than that, then your gut health may have been compromised. Heartburn, other things like that. Your gut can actually also impact mental being. It can make you moody, it can give you fatigue, it can make you have skin problems, it can even make you anxious. Like there's so many things that your gut is responsible for, and I feel like this is such an underspoken about topic of fat loss. Like if your gut is compromised, you're going to struggle. For the most part, when I fixed my diet, my gut issues kind of disappeared. I would recommend drinking at least 2 liters of water, high fiber foods. So I eat a lot of like edamame beans, tender stem broccoli that will have fiber, oats. I eat oats every morning, that's got a lot of fiber. Moving towards a more whole foods diet will naturally fix your gut health. Also, things like managing stress, I know that always can't be helped, but trying to sleep more, at least like 7 hours minimum of sleep per night. Obviously it can't always be helped. Things like that will naturally heal your gut. I also take a supplement called gut scrub, which you don't have to take, but for me personally, if I feel like my gut is acting up, I'll take the gut scrub, and it kind of usually just flushes out my system so we can restart and refresh. If you are interested, I will put the link down below, but don't feel pressured. You can heal your gut naturally, but that's also what I do. If you're noticing that your gut health isn't all the way there, I would have a look into that. Okay, now I'm sure you've all heard of the term calorie deficit. I'm sure you've heard it a million times, but I'll still explain to you what it is. A calorie deficit is essentially when you eat less than what your body burns per day. So you have something called maintenance calories, which is the amount of calories that you eat per day to maintain your current body weight. For me, I think my maintenance, I don't even know. I think my maintenance calories are around 2,100 or 2,200. So because of that, if I ate, for example, 2,000, I'd be in a calorie deficit. If I ate 1,900, I'd be in a calorie deficit. Now, if you eat under your maintenance calories, you are going to lose weight. It doesn't matter if it's 200 under, 300 under, 500 under, you're going to lose weight. Now, eating up to 500 less than your maintenance is the typical sustainable way to lose weight. The amount of weight you lose in the time frame will be dependent on how much less you're eating than your maintenance. A fat loss will occur as long as you're in a calorie deficit. It doesn't matter how much a deficit is, you will lose fat. Now, I did something called an aggressive cut, which is not for everyone, especially if you have a low maintenance calorie rate. For example, if your maintenance calories are at something like 1,500, you cannot participate in an aggressive cut because your maintenance calories are already quite low. For me, because I have quite a lot of muscle mass, my maintenance is slightly higher, which enabled me to do an aggressive cut. I would eat at around 1,500, 1,400, which is a 600 to 700 calorie deficit. Aggressive cuts are only meant for short term. I knew I was only doing this for a few weeks, hence why I did it. Aggressive cuts are not sustainable for the long term and should not be done for the long term. They should only be done, again, one, if your maintenance calories are high enough, because the minimum adult should be eating per day is 1,200. You should never go underneath that. So if, again, like I said, if your maintenance is 1,600, you cannot do an aggressive cut. If your maintenance is 1,700, you cannot do an aggressive cut. And not for everyone, but I'm telling you how I lost the weight so quickly, and that's how. You need to find the way that's right for you. The aggressive cut was right for me just because of my time frame, just because I knew I didn't want this to be prolonged, just because of many other factors. But if you know that that's not right for you, please do not do that. Basically, by the way, I still ate whatever I wanted. I just made sure that it fit into my macros. Another rule is high protein. Ensure your protein intake is high, especially if you want to preserve muscle mass. Because one thing, do you know what, I should even clarify, one thing that you don't want to do is lose muscle. It's easy to lose weight, and weight is a combination of fat and muscle, but you don't want to do that. You need your muscle. All you want to do is lose the fat loss, not weight loss. So I should actually stop referring to it as lose weight. It's not weight, we're losing fat, because you need your muscle. In fact, you need to retain as much muscle as possible. In fact, we even want to grow the muscle while we're losing fat. Muscle is what's going to give you that toned, sculpted look. The more muscle you have, the higher your metabolism is, the more calories you'll burn just at rest, not even by doing anything. So we need our muscle. Muscle is also crucial for strength, for many things. We want to preserve as much muscle as possible. So because of that, you need to ensure that you're doing a high protein diet. So the general rule is around 1.6 to 2.2 grams of protein times your body weight in kg. My starting weight was around 64 point something. So I would eat at least 130 grams of protein per day, or 120 grams of protein per day, to ensure that I was maintaining my muscle during my fat loss, especially because I was doing an aggressive cut. Even more important to eat as much protein as you can. Obviously, focus on your other macros as well. You need a lot of fiber, because fiber will keep you satiated. You also need carbs. You do not need to cut out carbs, and I'm going to get into that point next. You don't need to cut out carbs. Carbs are an energy source, and if you want to train, which is also another point I'm going to talk about, you're going to need energy. So you don't have to cut out carbs. I didn't cut out anything, but anyway, I'll get into that. That being said, let's go on to the next point. I didn't cut out any food group, and you don't need to cut out any food group, guys. I didn't cut out carbs. I didn't cut out sugar. I didn't cut out anything. I feel like carbs, sugar, all of this stuff has been demonized for some reason. People think it's so bad. Oh my God, I have to cut out carbs to lose weight. No, you don't. As long as you eat in your calorie deficit and you're hitting your protein and you're hitting your macros, you can pretty much eat anything you want. Now, is it more optimal and healthy to eat a mainly whole foods, not processed, clean, leafy green diet? Yes, obviously that's more healthy. It's more nutritious. It's likely to keep you more satiated. You can eat more whole foods for the calories. However, will you still lose fat by eating a bunch of processed food and sugar as long as you're in your calorie deficit? Yes. And this is the thing that people need to know. Obviously, you have to find some sort of balance that works for you. So even when I was in my aggressive cut and I was hitting my protein and I was hitting my fiber goals, I still made space for a sweet treat, because I'm not about to be fighting my sugar addiction when I'm already doing something that's hard enough as it is. I'm not also about to be having withdrawals from sugar. I'm not doing that. I did that on my last cut that I did in October. I wasn't doing an aggressive cut then. I was eating at around 1,600 calories, and I cut out sugar, and it was hell. And it's funny because I was eating more calories and found it harder than when I was eating less calories with my sweet treat. With my last cut, when I cut out all sugar, honestly, that's all I thought about every day. I just thought, oh my God, okay, one more day until I can eat my sugar. One more day until I can eat my sugar. It just wasn't sustainable. I like sugar. I enjoy sugar. If I ever wanted to curb my sugar addiction, if I ever wanted to tackle my sugar addiction, it wouldn't be while I'm doing a cut. That's already hard enough as it is, eating a restricted amount of calories and less calories than usual. That's already hard enough as it is, without now also having sugar withdrawals and having to, like, no. If I was ever going to sort out my sugar addiction, it would be when I'm doing a bulk and I've got loads of calories to spare to be eating other things and to be filling my sugar cravings with other things. Not when I'm already restricted, already fighting for my life, and now you want to remove sugar from me as well. No, the only thing that I would say is you have to make slight adjustments for it to fit within your macros. So for example, instead of eating like a dairy milk bar or like a chocolate bar that's got like 300 calories and like 2 grams of protein, opt for a brownie that's got like 300 calories but also 30 grams of protein. Do you know what I mean? So it can fit into your macros and you can make it work. So I'm actually going to show you some of the snacks that I would eat every day, by the way. Every day. So I've got them right here. So one, by the way, this is not sponsored. I literally bought this with my own money. And yeah, so this is one. This is my protein chocolate chip brownies. They are too good. They're so good. So I was getting on a flight and I needed like protein snacks to take with me on the plane. and I just saw them in the store and I thought, okay, cool, let me try this. On the plane, I said, oh, this is getting bought as soon as I get back. When I got back, the first thing that I did was go back to the store to buy the brownie again, but it was sold out. Went to a different store, it was sold out in that store. Went to a different store, sold out. So I went and actually ordered them online. They're so filling, and I would have one of these every day. Once I ate this, it kept me satisfied. It satisfied my sweet tooth. It's 286 calories and it's 23 grams of protein. So, I mean, it's not bad. Also, this from Costco, it's cheapy as well. This is £12 from Costco and you get like 26 in there, so it's a really, really good deal. And it's the peanut and chocolate protein bar. The macros aren't the best, to be honest. It's like, I think like 200 calories, 198 calories for 10 grams of protein. So it's not the best, but it's not the worst. It satisfied my sweet tooth and kept me happy and kept the sugar addiction monster away. My protein, again, Impact protein bar, so good. So it's 20 grams of protein. It's I think like 200 or 300 calories, 231 calories. You make little substitutions. Even this is not for sweet treat, but sometimes I just feel a bit snacky, like I'm bored, I want a snack. I would get these. It's a Slim Fast protein crisp, 7.4 grams of protein, and they're so like satisfying to me. So you can like snack, you can eat sugar, you can do all of that stuff, just obviously in moderation. Make slight adjustments to what you're getting and you're gonna be fine. You don't need to cut out. You can if it works for you, and if that's what you like to do, please go ahead. For me, I can't cut out carbs because I train hard and I need the energy. I like carbs, so I'm not cutting it out, but you can obviously if it works for you, but you don't need to. Don't feel like you need to. Just, I would recommend you weigh everything. So I would recommend you getting a food scale if you don't have one. I know it might seem a little bit extreme, but you want to know how much you're eating. You want to know what you're putting in your body and how much to make the calorie deficit effective. On a food scale, weigh it out and you'll be fine. I've eaten rice, I've eaten sweet potato, I've eaten carbs every single day. One thing I will say is rice is very calorie dense, so I would recommend swapping out rice for like potato, sweet potato. But if you want rice, just eat the rice. Like there were days where I was like, I don't want potato, I just want rice. And I would have my 100 grams of rice, which is like 6 bites, 6 spoonfuls, but it is what it is. A mainly whole foods diet obviously is going to be the way to go. Sometimes we'll be busy, we got to run into the takeaway shop and grab a burger or grab something that's processed. Of course, a whole foods based diet and whatever is great for you, very, very healthy, but I live in the real world personally, and I'm not always going to be eating leaves and cow and eggs. And also as well, during this cut, I didn't drink any alcohol, I don't drink caffeine, I don't drink Coke, I don't drink coffee, nothing. The only caffeine I drink is green tea. I don't do drugs, I don't smoke, I don't do drugs, I don't do anything. And let me feel something. If I get my fix from sugar and processed foods, let me have that. I'm very healthy throughout the rest of my life. It's a lot. I exercise a lot. For the most part, I'm very healthy. Mentally, I'm in a good space. Let me have the one thing. Let me have it. So that's all I want to say about that. Okay, so if you want to lose weight in a short amount of time, you need to cut out alcohol. Sorry. Trust me, I love a drink as much as the next. The alcohol's got to go in the diet. There's just no space. There's simply no space in your diet for alcohol. Alcohol has no nutritional value and is literally just empty calories, a waste of calories. By the way, this is coming from the girl who loves a drink. I love a brunch. I love a cheeky glass of wine. Trust me, I love a drink. I had to cut it out. It was essential that I cut it out for the sake of the cut. There's just no space in your calories for alcohol. Now, if you want to reintroduce it back into your diet once you get to your goal, by all means, go ahead. That's what I'll be doing. But during the time that you're shredding off the weight, there's just no space for alcohol. Okay, so I know, again, this is if it's within your control. It's so hard to manage stress, but stress can actually make your body hold on to weight. And I actually experienced this during week 3 of my cut. Stress can actually make your body hold on to fat. So just, obviously I know it's hard, it's life at the end of the day. Trust me, I get how hard and stressful life can be. So of course, if it's within your control, just try to reduce the stress. I'm not going to sit here and tell you you have to sleep 9 hours minimum every night. That's not realistic for a lot of people, and that's okay. Same with you have to have a whole foods based diet. It's not realistic for a lot of people, and that's okay. Like you shouldn't be demonized for that. We're all living a life doing what we can. But yeah, try to reduce stress if possible. Focus on rest and recovery. Do not overtrain. Do not overtrain. Excessive amounts of training is counterproductive and will actually probably make you worse. So don't do that. Oh, I didn't even mention training. Well, you only really need to strength train around 3 times a week, just to maintain the muscle mass and to keep the body from getting rid of the muscle instead of fat. If you're stimulating your muscles, your body's going to get rid of fat instead of muscle, because you're basically telling your body, still need this muscle, don't get rid of it, so it will get rid of the fat. You need to strength train around 3 times per week. I strength train around 5 times per week, but that's just because I love doing it. And that's just my personal plan and my routine. You don't have to do it 5 times a week. I would say 3 times a week, even 2 times a week, to be honest. You could actually probably get away with that, but I do 5. I would also do my 10k steps every single day without fail. In fact, to be honest, guys, I started to do more than 10k. I started to do around 20k steps per day. Now, you don't need to do this much. It was just something for me that I started to enjoy walking. It's getting hotter where I am, so the weather was enjoyable, so I would just go for walks. And another thing as well is, during this fat loss phase, I wasn't really like going out much, only because like when I go see my friends or when I go out, it's often around food and drinks, which both I couldn't do. Like, I didn't want to be around the temptation, because it's hard enough doing this on a normal day, especially not when you're faced with the temptation of everyone around you drinking, everyone around you stuffing their faces. I want to do that too. You think I don't want to do that? I definitely want to be involved in that, but obviously I can't. So I honestly just would focus on myself more. So I found myself walking more to just as an extracurricular activity, because I wasn't seeing my friends as much, because everything was revolved around food, alcohol, drinks. That's basically why I started walking a lot. But 10k steps per day minimum, if you can. No, actually minimum I would say is, if you can, 7k per day minimum, but I wouldn't do less than 10k every day. So I'm gonna actually show you yeah, so that's 20k. Let's see the day after. 13k, 13k, 15k, and this is this week, by the way. 15k, 20k. That was Wednesday. So you get the gist, basically. You can download things like the Pace app, which it kind of keeps you motivated, because wait, let me show you. I bet someone's beating me. Oh, I'm still on top. Why is it not? No, updating. I'm the leader. So this is me. I've walked the most this week. So that means I get 10 pace points, which, to be fair, the rewards on this, you can get like free coffee and free whatever. I don't drink coffee, so I don't really care. I just want to beat all these people. So every time I see that I've slipped, I'll literally go out for a walk. I know, honestly guys, this is what my life has come to. This is what my life has come to. But anyway, you can use things like that to keep you motivated if that works for you. So if you want to download the app, I think it's UK only, I will send you my referral code. This is not an ad, by the way, not sponsored. I'm just showing you how I'm able to walk so much. And then also my accountability partner, we also have each other walking tracking on. So sometimes when I see how much she's done, I'll think, oh, it'll motivate me, and I'll think, no, I want to beat her. This is what my life has come to, guys. This is actually what my life has come to. But anyway, yeah, so it's just some tips, you know, if you want tips on how you can walk more. I feel like I've been talking for ages, like my throat is literally hurting. It's also consistency over perfection. You're not going to be perfect. Every day is not going to be easy, guys. There was one of the days when I was even walking, I started crying. I started shedding tears, because I was like, oh my gosh, it's hard. It's a hard journey, but you can do it if you really put your mind to it. Steps backwards are still part of the dance. So if you do mess up, if you do eat too many calories, if you do whatever, it's fine. It's not going to cost you. Just carry on the next day. We're looking for consistency and not perfection. And that's literally it. Being around other like-minded people who are doing the same thing as you makes your life so much easier, because they're all doing the same thing. They encourage you, they support you, and honestly guys, it just makes it easier. If you are interested in having an accountability group, head over to leanmindbody.com. We're actually starting a 6-week summer shred on the 26th of May. If you do see this after, you can still join if you want. We're going to have a big group of people going through the same thing. I would personally head over to Lean Mind Body, especially if you don't have a supportive group or someone who can keep you accountable. I honestly feel like you need that. That's what got me through, and so that's why I wanted to offer it. I think that's everything. I hope it is. I feel like I've been yapping non-stop, so I'm gonna make it everything. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope this helped. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe. Head over to my Instagram to keep up with me there at Liana Manning, and I will catch you very, very soon in my next video. Mwah!